Welcome to Wednesday Words, and happy Halloween! One of the source traditions that has gone into the making of the modern celebration of Halloween is the ancient Celtic festival of Samhain, which begins the dark half of the Celtic year. Right now, we are halfway between the autumnal equinox on one hand and the winter solstice on the other, meaning that we are entering the period of most extreme darkness in the year, which will, of course, begin to turn around after the winter solstice. And we are also entering the period of the most extreme cold of the year, which will linger even longer than that. Darkness and cold are two things that many humans fear. And for our ancient ancestors, such as the ancient Celts, these fears made sense. The time of darkness and cold is a time when fewer things are growing, meaning that human communities, as well as all the other animals, experience more hunger. And extreme temperatures for warm-blooded creatures such as ourselves can also mean danger and even death. So there's a reason that ancient human communities feared the long winter and its darkness and cold. But I don't think it's a coincidence that these two things that humans so fear are actually disappearing from our world. We have created so many artificial lights that most of the world does not actually experience true darkness anymore. So much so that there are actually places in the world that are creating essentially darkness sanctuaries, so that somewhere people, or more especially animals, can experience actual natural darkness. Of course, that darkness is not absolute, because there is always at least a little bit of starlight, and sometimes moonlight as well. But those things can also be appreciated more deeply in places where there is no artificial light. And of course, cold is also disappearing from our world. While individual places in the world experience cold still, of course, and sometimes even more extreme cold than they used to, as we all know by now, the global trend is toward warming, and cold is disappearing. So we fear darkness and cold, and we are actually driving them out of the world. And as we do so, we are discovering that we actually need them. We need the darkness, our bodies need it to rest fully, other animals need it for various reasons. It's unhealthy for us and for the world to never experience true darkness. And of course, we actually need the cold too. The global trend towards warming threatens the entire ecosystem of life on Earth, as we all have heard so much from climate scientists. So I think that one of the most important spiritual practices that we can do in this time of the year of darkness and cold is to remember that we need these things, and to work not to drive them out of our lives, but rather to invite them back in, to celebrate and honor darkness when it comes, and the places where we can still experience the cold of winter. So as we enter the dark half of the year, I invite you to join me in honoring darkness and thanking darkness, in honoring cold and thanking cold for all of the things that they bring to our own lives and to the system of life on Earth. Thanks for watching. I hope you have a great afternoon. This Sunday at 10:30, we will be considering democratic process as we all prepare for Election Day next week. Happy Halloween. Bye.